So I've really struggled with this video. Um, on my SagDad channel, I'm building a community that is just about people. It's people coming in, it's watching gamings. You know, when I first started out, my whole thing with the SagDad stream was to be relevant to my son. And I started in October of last year, and I tried it on Facebook, and it wasn't, I was getting quite a few followers. I think I was over 200, but Facebook had issues. I ended up having to cancel on the Facebook side the live stream and move over to Twitch. And I had to start from zero on Twitch, which was very frustrating because I had put in a couple months. Anyway, January 1st, I started off on Twitch, and I started playing and I started doing these games. And my community started to grow, not quite as quickly as it does on Facebook, because Facebook has how many, like 2 billion users, right? But it started to grow, and there was a point where I was trying to figure out what I was doing, right? I'm playing the video games. My community's kind of stalled a little bit, and I just wanted to quit, and I was really frustrated. And Zeke came and sat down, and what ended up happening was we watched a video from earlier when I first started streaming to then, which was like 6 months later, and he pointed out the differences, what was happening, and he pointed out what was getting better, and even how the community was growing. And I kind of took it from there that I shouldn't stop. And Zeke was like, don't stop, Dad, don't stop. So I didn't stop. And within a couple weeks of him doing that, him sitting me down and encouraging me, I ended up making affiliate. And now a couple months later, that was in April, and now a couple months later, my stream is growing. I wouldn't say it's exploding, but it's definitely growing. I'm getting new followers all the time. And now to go back to my original comment, I've struggled with this video because I felt, people in my stream know I go to church. They know I'm a Christian, but I am not overly preachy on my stream. I don't preach. My stream has always been about the community and having people come in who just feel a safe place and have a fun place to come to where we laugh. And it's actually been quite amazing. About a few months ago, I watched a video with Ravi Zacharias, and he made a comment about how if we as a church spent more time looking at people for who they were, and we stopped concentrating on what they were, the world would be a better place. And it really hit me on that, because in my stream, all I see is a name in my chat. I see name. I don't see what people are. I don't see color. I don't see gender. I don't see anything like that. I don't see where they live. I don't see anything. I don't like it. It's fantastic because I see people for who they are when they're commenting and when we're encouraging. And it's been actually really amazing to watch my community grow and to start interacting with each other and to start encouraging each other. People are asking, how's your day gone? People are saying, like, we talk about food, we do all this other stuff, but in the end, people leave hopefully encouraged that, there's a community that they can be a part of where they're lifted up, right? There's so many streamers out there, and I'm not going to name names and stuff like that, but there's so many negative streams on there where people are just running other people down. And even social media in itself is just running people down all the time, right? With the politics, with everything. And I'm frustrated. And I looked at this, and I'll go back to my original comment about how I really struggled with this video. Because in this video that I'm making right now, I want to talk about some things that God has been speaking to me about community. COVID in 2020 has wrecked so many lives. It has wrecked so many lives. This has been a year of just incredible heartache and incredible hardships for people. But for me and my family, and like for me and Nicola, it's actually been a really good year, because I'm not saying it has been hard and stuff hasn't happened, but it's changed our mindset and the purposes and stuff like that. And And so for me to go through this, what's happened is as everything's been building, while I've been doing this, I feel that there's been an opportunity for me, and there's been an opportunity for the church to take advantage of, to build community. And God really challenged me with that. A couple weeks ago on my Nicola and I's Hope, Love, Faith channel, we talked about what are you building, and we talked about our communities and stuff like that. And God really spoke to me about, he challenged me about how I'm building community. And I look back at COVID, and I think it's really funny because a lot of churches went online, and it was fantastic. It was amazing. All of a sudden on a Sunday, I would see all these positive messages of hope, of all this other stuff that outweighed everything else. And it was amazing. But what I noticed was as soon as, and I'm not saying every church did this, but as soon as they started to change some of the things, there became this push to say, well, we got to get back to the building. We've got to get back to the building. And please understand me when I say this, there's nothing wrong with that, right? But what I feel has happened is that we started to build something when COVID was hitting, and then as soon as stuff started to change, we kind of forgot about this part and said we got to get back to what we were doing before. And I'm not disagreeing that the stuff we were doing before isn't good, but what I'm saying is we can't forget about what God was building and what was happening right now, right? Like even for me, when I look at my community, as it's starting to grow, as it's starting to become this big thing, I need to watch how it flows. I need to watch, it's like a river. It's moving, it changes its course, it keeps going, but I gotta watch that. And I feel that's what's happened with community growing and building with the churches. We had an opportunity to move forward, and God was taking us somewhere. And what I don't want is for churches to miss that. I don't want to miss that, because there's a whole entity out there of community that is online. And I'm immediately reminded of the scripture where it talks about the shepherd leaving the 99 to find the one, right? The one, he didn't call from the sheep pen. He didn't say, hey, come over here. You got to come here. You got to get into the sheep pen. No, he actually got out of the sheep pen, and he went and he found the one. And even for me, as I'm online and as I'm streaming, as I'm playing these games, I'm not sitting in the pen. I'm out trying to bring hope and trying to bring, and I'm not trying to sound greater than I am. I'm literally playing video games. I'm playing video games 5 times a week. I average 20 hours a week of video games with my chat. But what I've seen is that it's not about the video games anymore. Yes, people join to learn about the video games or to watch a video game that they love. Or like one comment yesterday, finally a guy playing a video game who has more gray hair than I do, right? And so people come in, they see my face or they see what I'm doing, they like it, but they stay because of my community. They don't stay because of me or the game I'm playing. They're staying because of the community. And my question that I have is the church doing the same thing? Are people staying because of the community, or are they staying because of one personality or something like that? Because in the end, I really feel that God is trying to build community again. He's trying to build community, and not a safe community, a community where it doesn't matter what you are, it's who you are, right? And I think just like Ravi said, if we concentrated on that, the world would be a better place, right? In my stream, people come in, I don't know who they are. I don't know who they are, and sometimes comments are made that we brush over, or I challenge people. You know, I call it the SAG squad. They all have streams of their own. Their streams are not PG like mine, but when they're in my stream, they stay PG, and they change the way they're doing things because they know the stream is a different type of stream. And I'm not saying what they do is not good for them. If they want, you know what I mean? Like that's their choice. That is absolutely their choice, right? But it works we work together to build the stream, right? To build our community. So for me, I just think that as we move forward and as we come out of COVID, and I don't know what's going to happen, it looks like it's starting to blow up again, right? We got to have that overabundance of caution. We have to be careful. You know, my pastor last week shared a message on why don't we take Why aren't we leading by example as churches when it comes to wearing masks, when it comes to doing all that stuff, right? To show that we want to keep people safe, to show that we are doing our part to take care of other people, right? It's that whole mindset of getting out of the sheep pen and going to find the one, right? And so for me, like with this whole thing, and I don't want to repeat myself and I don't want to keep going, but I just think that as we move forward, don't rush to get back to the building. Don't rush to get back to there's nothing wrong with being in the building. If you have opportunity to be in the building, do it. But don't forget about getting out of the building to find the one. It's happening all over the place, you guys. I see it happening in my stream. I'm not in a church building. I'm not preaching to everybody when they come in. But when they do come in, we give them hope. We talk about their days. We lift them up. We encourage and we build community. The scripture says in Mark 12, Mark 12 verse 30 and 31, love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, with all your strength. The second is this, love your neighbor as yourself. There's no commandment greater than this. It doesn't say what type of neighbor, it says your neighbor. And here's the other thing with verse 30. When it says love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind, and with all your strength, as you do that, the life you lead will become the example that people will latch onto. As you lead your life like that, it will change other people's lives without you having to preach at them, without you having to do all these things. And there's nothing wrong with sharing. Like I'll say that right now. There's nothing wrong with sharing what you like that love your Lord your God, talking about stuff like that. But we got to make sure we do it in our lives, right? Because as we do that first verse, as we accomplish what God's asked us to do, the second follows with love your neighbor as yourself, right? And there's no commandment greater than this. So whatever you take from this, I don't want to, when I talked about how I might offend people, I know it will offend people because, when I say, well, people are rushing back to the buildings, people are doing all this, the whole wearing masks, all that stuff, yeah, it will offend people, absolutely. But my goal isn't to upset people. My goal is to get people thinking about how they're building their community. How are you building your community? Because in the end, people are going to stay with you because of your community, because of what the people around you offer, because of what you have that gives them hope, that gives them encouragement. And when they click the link, when they're all done your stream, and they say, I can't wait to get back there tomorrow. That's all I got. That's what I wanted to say. If you have any comments, please leave a comment. If you're into any type of building of community and you want to jump on board, I'm on twitch.tv/SagDad. It's a safe, fun community where we just build fun. We literally build fun, right? We have a good time. This is my YouTube channel also. It's one of the playlists I have on there, and then we're on Facebook. And if you want to know about hope, love, and faith, check out Nicola and I's Facebook page, Hope, Love, Faith. And if you enjoy it, share it. But the biggest thing, guys, is that we're building community, and we want people to feel hope, love, and build their faith. Okay, kind of went into a couple different directions there, but that's my heart. That's what I wanted to talk about. I hope it's okay. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.